Informatica. To learn about Informatica, we should first know the basic concepts of Informatica. What is Informatica, from where it comes from, and what does it deal with? To know about Informatica deeply, we should first know what is ETL and what is data warehousing. So our today's topic is ETL and Informatica. What is ETL? ETL means extraction, transformation, and loading. It refers to the methods which are involved in accessing and manipulating source data and loading it into the target database. That means, suppose we have a table in one database where data are stored for official purposes. Suppose we have a table which contains the name of employees, their address, their telephone number. We want to load this table in a different environment where we can access it and get the relevant information from there. We want the data to be changed in the source table. Suppose the first name and the surname are written separately in different columns in the table. We want to load it in the target table as one full name. So that is manipulating source data. And after this manipulation is done, we'll load the data in the target database where it is easily user accessible. What is Informatica? Informatica is one of such ETL tool which is used in data warehousing, where data is stored, manipulated, and used by users. The end users get data in the format which can be easily accessible. That means they can see the data and get the information whatever required to them. They don't need to change it. It's just like an index. You can read the topic and get the page number where it is referred to. So seeing the data which is present to you in the data warehouse in the manipulated format, you can easily infer what is written in the table. We should know about the basic ETL concepts to learn about Informatica. What is ETL? As mentioned, it is extract, transform, and load. It is used in data warehousing. Extract, transfer, and load are the three processes which helps to load the data. What is extract? Extract means getting the data from the sources. Sources can be any table, any file, or any object where data is written. Transforming it to fit business needs means we'll manipulate the data, we'll change the data as required. Data is transformed. It can be names can be added. That means it can be first name and last name can be concatenated to form one single name. Age can be calculated from date of birth. Your salary can be calculated, etc., etc., etc. as required. That is this is what is transforming it to business needs. Loading it into end target, that is the data warehouse. What is loading it into end target? End target is the place where we can see the data, where the data is available to us in readable format. So we need to bring the changed data to the end target place. This process is called loading. So we can say ETL is a process by which data is integrated and transformed from operational systems into the data warehouse environment. That means data from source, be it any source system, is obtained. It is transformed and changed. Data from different systems are combined, and then it is finally loaded in the target database. ETL glossary. We should know few terms to know about Informatica. These terms will be used very frequently in Informatica. The first term is source system. Source system means the source word explains what is source system. Source, from where data is obtained. It can be any database, it can be any application, any file, or any storage system where data is present. Anything can act as a source system in data warehouse from where we obtain data. Mapping. What is mapping? Mapping is a definition of the relationship and the data flow between the source and target objects. Mapping is place where the process called transformation of ETL is done. Whatever changes we require in the source data is done in mapping. Like we want to add two numbers. So this definition of, that means this addition of two numbers is defined in the mapping. So it is kind of a relationship which is defined between the data flow between the source and the target objects. Next, metadata. Metadata is data which describes data and other structures such as objects, business rule and processes. Example, the schema design of a data warehouse is typically stored in a repository as metadata, which is used to generate scripts used to build and populate data warehouse. A repository contains metadata. What does this mean? We have a data warehouse where it contains several tables. Suppose we have a table named employee which contains description about the employee, its first name, its last name, its telephone number, address, date of birth, salary structures and many more information. So these different headings of the table is called the schema design, the design of the table. So this design of the table is stored somewhere in the repository. Repository is a storehouse where every table and information is stored. So this design, it describes the data which is stored in the table. So this is called the metadata. We can use this metadata to generate scripts to populate the data warehouse. Staging area. Staging area is what? It's a place where data is processed before entering the warehouse. Staging area is the intermediate area between the source and the target, where we process, manipulate and change the data before loading it in the data warehouse. Cleansing. Cleansing is the process of resolving inconsistencies and fixing the anomalies in source data, typically as part of ETL process. The very word cleansing means clean, to remove all the mistakes which are present, to remove all the anomalies or the defect which is present. It is the process of resolving inconsistencies. That means, suppose at one place the date of birth is mentioned as 1st January 1990 and it is by mistake at different place it is mentioned as 1st January 1989. So there is an inconsistency in the data. Both the two datas are not same. So cleansing is the process by which we correct the data. So this is also done in Informatica. Transformation. Anything apart from copying the data is called transformation, which can include cleaning as explained above, aggregating means summation or combining different data together, and integrating data from multiple sources. Like means we have different sources, we have 10 different tables stored in the source, we want the output in one single table. We are integrating, that means we are combining the data from all the sources and putting it in the target. This is called integrating data from multiple sources. So transformation means you are changing and manipulating the data. This transformation is a process by which our mapping is created. Transportation. What is transportation? The very common word means moving of data, relocating data. The process of moving data from source to the target, that is the data warehouse, is called transportation. Target system. Target system, as explained earlier about source system, that means from where our data is obtained. Target system is place where our data is loaded. The end where means the place where the users can see the data easily. And here what data we obtain? The data which is clean, which is transformed, and the data which is required to the users after applying business logic on the source data.